Here we go, guys. This lady's angry. Check this out.
Buy a house. Don't do it. This is a lifelong dream that I have now achieved at 24, and I'm so proud and I'm so happy of it. Absolutely. Has it been a complete nightmare since the moment we closed on this
It's pretty impressive that she bought her first house at 24.
house, and honestly, even before, because that was a mess? Absolutely. It is the most emotionally taxing, insane roller coaster I have ever been on. I'm slightly losing my mind, but I do think everything from here on out is up. I am sick. I am gonna blame that on all the stress and all the moving and all of that. I thought we would chat a little bit.
So it sounds like she just moved a little while ago. And without even getting into this too far, if I look at this picture, it looks like she bought an old house, right? You can see the paneling, you can see the really old ceiling fan, you can even see the ceiling tiles, which they probably haven't used in 50 years. So let's go. Continue.
About what's really been going on, because I've kind of told you guys a couple of things here and there, but I don't think we've really gotten into the nitty and the gritty. As you guys know, we had to get electrical work done, and like I said, I've told you guys a little bit about that, but I don't think I've went into the full like nitty gritty of everything that went down and all of the issues we had with it. Also, I'm standing above the sink and there are 3 bowls of cereal because we just got our dishwasher to work and I haven't loaded it yet, and it's making me, hang on, make matters worse,
Is that real?
it's Fruity Pebbles. We did fix that. Okay, back to what I was saying. We had to get complete electrical work done, and we knew that we had to get this done. A realtor also works on houses, and so he like knows what's gonna need to be done. He could tell us what this is made out of, what this, blah blah blah. He could tell us like a lot about the house just by like walking through it. I realized that we had no grounding in this house. You don't know what that is? That's basically the thing that stops like sparks from happening when you have like an
So on an older house, there's a really good chance that the electrical outlets are two-prong outlets. You know, most of the homes that you see, or maybe you see, are three-prong outlets. So a lot of the older houses had two. If this house is really old, it may have something called knob and tube wiring, which could be a fire hazard. But let's keep watching.
electrical fire, it stops that from happening. That's what the grounding does. We knew that when we made an offer on the house. So what we did is we lowballed, knowing they would accept that offer. Then we had our inspection done and we found out that we needed all new electric because all of the electric in this house is original to 1940. So not only just the outlets, our breaker box was also original, so it was not strong enough to have literally anything plugged into it. It was a fire waiting to happen, and we knew that. We said, hey, yeah, we'll buy this house, but you gotta fix that shit. The seller did not want to fix that shit because we were also like, you need to fix this shit. You need to use the electrician that we are going to want, that we already had a quote from because he's in with my realtor. He's one of his guys. Like I said, he works on houses, so this is the guy he always uses. Seller was like, nah.
Well, I don't know where she is here. I mean, number one, I think it's great actually that she's asked for the electric stuff to be addressed. That's a big health or safety related concern, and it should be addressed. However, on the buy side of a transaction, we can't dictate to a seller who they can use. They do have to use a licensed professional. They do have to document it, at least where I service homes here in South Jersey, but we can't tell them who they have to use.
If you want that done, you need to let me use my guys. But not only that, if you want that done, we're also going to do the floors. We're also going to do this, that, and end up making the house over $25,000 more than what the listing price even was. So we had to do some back and forth, we had to do some arguing, we had to do some negotiating, whatever, and eventually he agreed to pay our electrician to fix the house, but really we paid for it because we put it in our offer. We also
So if I'm following her right, what happened here, it sounds like they negotiated repairs, but they actually decided to increase the price of the house So really sounds like an awkward negotiation.
Said, hey, we want to get this done before we move in, and he wouldn't do that because there's always like the opportunity for us to back out until we close. We had to wait until after we closed to start the electrical. It was supposed to start the day that we closed. We closed on a Thursday. They wouldn't do it until Monday, actually. That's how it ended up working out. Well, then this whole thing happened where the electricians did their job, but then the city would not come out and give the okay on it because code, conduct, whatever people have to come out and say it's okay. At least some guy just came out, took one look at it and said, yep, good. It took literally 5 fucking minutes, and it took him like a week to do that. So that's...
She's obviously super frustrated, right? One of the ways we work around this, sometimes repairs can't get done before closing for various reasons. It sounds like in this case, this guy just wasn't willing to do it. But sometimes the way we get past it in order to protect you as a buyer is if the seller agrees to do this job, we also require an escrow agreement. So there'd be funds held in escrow because in the event that that job didn't get done or there were other problems, there is money held in escrow from the seller's proceeds at closing.
It's like where most of our problems came from because we didn't have electricity. We couldn't move in. We didn't get electricity until the day that we had to move out of our old house. And we were supposed to have like 2 weeks to get ready to move in, paint, whatever. We thought that the house was going to come with appliances because it said that it came with appliances, which we assumed that that would be fridge, stove, and washer and dryer. The day we do our final walkthrough, we're...
Never assume in real estate. I see a lot of contracts and a lot of listings which say includes all appliances or includes appliances, and that's a pet peeve of mine. The contract and the listing should state exactly what's included: washer, dryer, refrigerator, garbage disposal. Sometimes there's this thing in the industry where sometimes people assume that it's included if it's what they say is built in, but kind of define built in. That's not an easy thing to define, and there are some gray areas. So it sounds like to me that the contract did not specify which appliances were included.
There's the washer and dryer. He took them and he sold them. He didn't even offer to sell them to us.
Yeah.
So we suddenly don't have a washer and dryer. We started looking at Facebook Marketplace. We started looking at used appliance stores. We ended up getting one from a used appliance store. We realized that the fridge is not even cold. Like, I put drinks in it the morning I was over here, came back in the evening, they weren't cold. We realized the fridge didn't work. So we were gonna have to not only get a washer and dryer, but also a fridge. And we had to get them from a used appliance store or Facebook because we couldn't afford to do retail at the moment, obviously. The fridge finally like hooked up after all of the electrical stuff, and the top of the fridge is not cold. The freezer's not cold at all. Found out it's a motor issue. We had some guy come out. He said the piece is on back order, like hella. Then we found it on Amazon. So Zach's gonna try to do it today by himself and not pay another $200 for them to do it. So hopefully we can fix that. And then the washer and dryer weren't really working. They are working now. We kind of fixed it out. But like everything has just been like one thing after another. The garbage disposal also wasn't working, but I stumbled across a TikTok last night that talked about how there's like a reset on it, and thankfully that fixed it. Just been like every single like step of the way there has been an issue, and I feel like hopefully now that we're fixing all of our appliances, things will be okay. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for, because I don't know how much longer I can take it. It has literally been one thing after another. There's also the fact that like our door, the hole in the door is not cut right, so we can't change the lock yet, which we did end up changing it to another thing that like kind of works, and the door locks, but it's not the lock that I wanted. So I'm not happy about that. Fun stuff is coming soon.
So that's pretty frustrating, right? It sounds like a few of these things could have been avoided. When you purchase a home that's over 80 years old, there's going to be things about it that have been updated. There are going to be things that have not been updated, unless at some point this home was kind of torn down to the studs and rebuilt. So it sounds like what she's experiencing kind of stinks. The electrical probably could have been negotiated a little differently, but obviously we don't know all the details. And, homes do come with surprises. Thanks for watching.